Have you ever noticed something strange about your own life? Just when things start going well, you feel uncomfortable. Just when happiness shows up, your mind quietly whispers, "Don't trust this." You might be smiling on the outside, but inside there's tension, a fear you can't fully explain, a feeling that says something bad is coming. The most confusing part is this. You don't fear sadness. You don't fear struggle. You fear happiness, not because you hate it, but because deep down, you've learned that happiness never stays. If this sounds familiar, stay with me, because what you're about to hear might explain parts of your life you've never been able to put into words. Psychologists call this phenomenon fear of happiness, and it's far more common than people think. It doesn't mean you're broken, it doesn't mean you're ungrateful, and it definitely doesn't mean you don't deserve good things. In fact, people who fear happiness are often some of the most emotionally aware, sensitive, and intelligent individuals in the room, but their minds have learned something very specific over time. Happiness is dangerous. Let's talk about how that belief is formed. For many people, fear of happiness begins early in life. Maybe you grew up in an environment where good moments were always followed by pain, a peaceful day suddenly interrupted by arguments, a joyful achievement overshadowed by criticism, a calm phase that ended with loss. Over time, your brain starts connecting the dots, not logically, but emotionally. It learns a pattern. When things feel good, something bad usually follows. And the brain, whose main job is survival, decides to protect you. It says, if happiness leads to pain, then let's avoid happiness. So instead of enjoying joy, you stay alert. Instead of relaxing into good moments, you brace yourself. Instead of celebrating, you wait for the fall. This is not weakness. This is conditioning. Another powerful reason people fear happiness is guilt, especially among people who are empathetic, responsible, or emotionally mature. You might feel guilty being happy when others around you are suffering. You might think, how can I be okay when someone else is not? So you unconsciously limit your joy. Your happiness feels like a betrayal, like you're doing something wrong by feeling good. This often happens to people who grew up taking care of others emotionally, people who learned early on that their role was to be strong, not joyful. Then there's another layer, one that's rarely talked about. Some people fear happiness because happiness makes them visible. When you're happy, you open up. You become expressive. You let your guard down. And if you've ever been hurt while being open, your mind remembers. So it says, stay neutral, stay controlled, stay guarded. Because neutrality feels safer than joy. That's why some people are incredibly calm in chaos, but uncomfortable in peace. They know how to survive storms, but not how to rest in sunshine. There's also a cultural side to this. In many households and societies, happiness is treated as temporary, suspicious, even irresponsible. You hear things like, don't laugh too much, don't get too excited. Life isn't that easy. These messages sink deep into the subconscious. They teach you that happiness invites punishment, so your mind learns moderation, not balance. But restriction. You allow yourself some happiness, but never fully. Never deeply. Never without fear. One of the clearest signs of fear of happiness is self-sabotage. Just when life starts improving, you procrastinate. You push people away. You overthink small things. You create problems that didn't exist. Not because you want chaos, but because chaos feels familiar. The human brain is wired to choose familiarity over comfort. And for some people, peace feels unfamiliar. Another sign is emotional numbness during good moments. You achieve something meaningful and feel nothing. You receive love and feel detached. You experience success and immediately downplay it. This isn't because you're ungrateful. It's because your nervous system doesn't know how to stay relaxed in joy. It's waiting for impact. Now here's something important and rarely mentioned. Fear of happiness is often found in people with high emotional depth, people who think deeply, people who feel intensely, people who reflect a lot. Your mind doesn't skim the surface of life, it dives deep. When you dive deep, emotions carry weight. Happiness doesn't feel light, it feels vulnerable. So how? Do people overcome this fear? Not by forcing positivity, not by pretending everything is fine, and definitely not by shaming themselves. For feeling this way, the first step is awareness. Understanding that your fear of happiness isn't random, it's learned. And what is learned can be unlearned. The second step is allowing happiness in. Small, controlled doses. Not overwhelming joy, but gentle moments. A quiet cup of coffee, a peaceful walk, a genuine laugh. Let your nervous system slowly learn that happiness doesn't always end in pain. The third step is separating past patterns from present reality. Just because joy once led to loss doesn't mean it always will. Your past taught you caution, but your present deserves presence. And perhaps the most powerful shift is this: understanding that happiness is not a promise. It doesn't need guarantees, doesn't need permanence, just needs permission. People who fear happiness often believe that enjoying joy will make the pain worse when it ends. But here's the truth psychology teaches us. Avoiding happiness doesn't protect you from pain. It only deprives you of life. Pain will come whether you fear happiness or not. But happiness only comes when you allow it. And allowing happiness doesn't make you careless, it makes you human. If you see yourself in this, know this: you are not weak, you are not broken, you are not pessimistic. You are someone who learned to survive first, forgot how to feel safe later. And that can change, slowly, gently in your own time. Because happiness isn't something to fear, it's something to relearn. And sometimes, the bravest thing a person can do is let themselves be happy without waiting for something bad to happen.